stream. Oh, mute it. Hi, Helen. Sorry, I don't understand. Helen. Fringe. Sorry, do I still got black screen? Understand. Yes. Fringe. Why? Still got black screen? Up and running. What am I doing wrong, Fringe? I don't have a picture. Hi, Karma. What's this thing? What's that? Hi, Karma. It says it's recording. Banners, comments, settings. This is the problem I had last time, right? Cam and mic, hold on. Easy camera. General. I don't get it. Okay, I don't have a green screen. All right, nothing like that. Yeah, it's saying that my camera's going, Fringe. This is the same issue I had before. It's saying that my camera's what's share screen? The same issue I had before. Let me see. What's share screen? Select window or screen. Okay, so, all right, maybe I can do it this way. Y'all don't have to see me anyway. Y'all know what I look like. Okay, bookmarks. Okay, so let's see. Who? Okay, so let me see. I'm gonna go back to verbs. Get rid of my little speaker there. I could turn that down, right? That's probably got an echo. Here, let's get rid of that. There we go. That's a help. StreamYard. Okay, select window. Let's see, get rid of Twitter. All right. So let's try this. Select window. Nope, there's something, right? Okay. Am I clicking back and forth? What can we see here? It's still nothing, huh? All righty. Well, y'all just ain't gonna see me. But anyway, I gotta go live. We got that. Select window or screen. Let me see. I don't know if this will work. Can you guys see the Moscow Times? Hi, sweet Jenna. Okay, there's no echo. I'm going to put this. This is from the Moscow Times. Now, in case everybody had forgotten, see, like if I was going to write a sci-fi novel, it would be just this, right? Why? Well, okay, we see icons, not the news. Wonder why that is. It's supposed to show my screen. All right. So anyway, this is from the Moscow Times. If I was going to write a sci-fi novel, I would use what was in the headlines. Wink, wink, right? I don't want to get in trouble for being a conspiracy theory. However, this was July 8th, 2019. And the headlines are Russian sailors killed in nuclear sub. Fire may have averted global catastrophe. Okay, does everybody remember that? So that was, I think it actually happened July 2nd. The 14 Russian sailors killed in last week's nuclear submarine fire may have prevented a planetary catastrophe. Now, didn't this like make everybody think? Okay, but naturally, something comes up in the news, and unless we beat it with a stick, it just goes away. So, okay, it was July 1st. The sailors were killed on July 1st when a fire broke out as their deep water research submarine was surveying the seafloor near the Arctic. The Russian Defense Ministry has said President Vladimir Putin disclosed for the first time on Thursday that the secret military submarine was nuclear powered, prompting the defense minister to assure him its reactor had been safely contained. Now, why do I pull this up, right? Well, because there's another article. There's more to this article. Y'all can read it. I put the link down. So what else do I have? Okay. Then that was July. What happened in September? Okay, so now this is from theguardian.com. Let me grab the link for you here. So, I fall down these rabbit holes. Sorry, I don't know about all this crap. Okay, Jenna, sorry, guys. I can't see the chat room because I'm somewhere else. But anyway, so here's the next headline news. And I'm going to tie all this together, because if I was going to write a sci-fi book, novel, I would use what was in the headlines. Oh goodness, is it going to let me see it? What is all this crap? Okay. Blast sparks fire at Russian laboratory housing smallpox virus. So, yeah, this was, let me see, is it giving me a date? A gas explosion at a Russian lab sparked a fire that was later put out. It is one of only 2 places on Earth to store the smallpox virus. So this was September 17th, 2019. This was, maybe a couple months after the sub could have had a global catastrophe. Anybody seeing a small connection where I'm going here? A gas explosion has sparked a fire at a Russian laboratory complex, stockpiling viruses ranging from smallpox to Ebola, authorities have said. The State Research Center of Virology and Biotechnology denied that the fire had exposed the public to the pathogens stored inside, some of the deadliest on Earth. The blast took place during repairs to a fifth-floor sanitary inspection room at the facility known as Vector in Kolsova. I think that's it, Koltsova, in the Novosibirsk region of Siberia. The center said on Monday the site housed secret biological weapons researched during the Soviet era and is now one of Russia's main disease research centers. One worker suffered third-degree burns after the blast, which blew out the glass in the building. The fire reportedly spread through the building's ventilation system. A fire covering 30 square meters was later extinguished. Russian authorities insisted that the room where the explosion occurred was not holding any biohazard substances and no structural damage was caused. The mayor of Kolsova said that the laboratory did not contain any disease samples because of ongoing repair work. Okay, so the smallpox virus survives in 2 places on Earth, at Vector and at another high security laboratory in the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention in Atlanta. Russian authorities last month were slow to release information about an explosion as a military testing site that caused a spike in radiation levels in Arkhangelsk region. The blast occurred when a liquid-fueled rocket carrying nuclear materials exploded. At least 5 people. That don't make sense, but anyway, it's the article. Authorities initially denied the incident had occurred and reportedly did not tell local hospital staff that the victims had been exposed to deadly levels of radiation. Russia has not said what the military specialists were working on. Now, I'm going to pull this together in the end. I just want to get you guys on track of what rabbit hole I fell down to find this stuff. Monday's incident was not the first at the Vector lab. In 2004, a researcher died at the complex after accidentally picking herself with a needle carrying the Ebola virus. Russian media then claimed it was the only death from the virus in Russia's history. Outbreaks of anthrax and smallpox were caused by Soviet weapons development programs in the 70s and subsequently covered up by the government. Gee, just seems like governments cover up a lot of stuff. It don't matter what country. The Vector Institute was threatened by a lack of funding in the 1990s, raising concerns that researchers could sell their expertise or actual biological samples to governments such as Iraq and North Korea. The laboratory also gave training on how to respond to a potential terrorist attack in the 2000s. A weapons cache, including grenade launchers reportedly belonged to a mafia group, was found near the facility in 2006. The lab has also held highly contagious forms of bird flu and strains of hepatitis. So, okay, that's what I got on that one. I guess. So, let's see. So then I got, I went a little further, right? Because that's what Phoebes does. Phoebes falls down the rabbit hole and just totally loses her mind and goes, what? So here comes the next article. Okay. So let me pull this up. And we're going to go through Wikipedia on this. Why? Well, I don't feel like having someone picking on me, right? So now this comes out, well, not on this, but the date, let me put this link here. Okay. I will add this stuff to the YouTube underneath. I'll pin all these articles if anybody wants to go back over them. So October 18th through 27th, what takes the news? 2019 Military World Games. In case you forgot, the 2019 Military World Games, officially known as the 7th CISM Military World Games, was held from October 18th to 27th. Gee, guys, that was just a month and a day from that lab catching fire, right? And guess where it was? In the capital of Hubei province in Wuhan, China. The 7th Military World Games was the first international military multi-sport event to be held in China, and also was the largest military sports event ever to be held in China, with nearly 10,000 athletes from over 100 countries competed in 27 sports. The multi-sport event included 25 official and 2 demonstrative sports, 6 sport disciplines such as badminton, tennis, table tennis, women's boxing, men's gymnastics made their debuts in the event. This was also the second biggest international sport event to be held in the year 2019 in China, after hosting the 2019 FIBA Basketball World Cup. The games were organized by the Military Sports Commission of China, Ministry of National Defense of the People's Republic of China, and the military commands Army in accordance with CISM regulations and rules of the International Sports Federations. For the first time in the history of the Military World Games, an Olympic village was set up for athletes prior to the commencement of the games. The village officially opened to the athletes following the flag raising ceremony. Okay, so let's see. There were 316 events in 27 sports. It says 140 nations. There were 9,308 athletes. So, like, I don't know, what? That's... If you're into the gematria of things, you add the 9,308 comes to 19. Oddly, it was 2019 that this started. So here's where it gets good. So nobody's really quite sure about who came down with this first. But if a virus like this escaped, there was actually a movie. It was some kind of zombie movie where they actually nuked the town. So just what if? Now, I'm writing a novel, right? A sci-fi novel. So what if I had started it, in a submarine? I don't know. I'm coming to America to pick up, I don't know, some vials. See, the whole Canadian thing was too fast. Someone gets arrested, look here, don't look there, right? So, what if, just what if, they were carrying that and one of the vials broke, or somehow it got into that sub? I don't think anyone survived that sub thing. Maybe they did. I didn't read far enough into that. But there would be only one thing to do. Nobody could leave that submarine, so poof, a fire. So then, or, maybe they had already had this virus out there. So then we go to the lab, right? Now, if I was the bad guy, I would break into that lab. I would steal a bunch of stuff. And then I'd cover my tracks by burning it down. Now, y'all still with me with this novel? Because we're writing a book here. Knowing that there's going to be almost 10,000 people at this military game going on, like the end of October. So, if I really wanted to go ahead and do something, yeah, it would be there. There's 10,000 people. You're going to figure me out, right? So I'm thinking, and that was all in Wuhan. So they could have went in, stole this. I'm kind of thinking about putting some characters in this novel, something like CIA, rogue government, because, they're all about the war. They've been race baiting us. They've been trying to put the left against the right. They've been wanting a civil war. Heck, they tried to get us to go to war with Russia. Now, if anybody remembers seeing that map on Marfugel, okay, it was a map of the United States. It was red on the West Coast and red on the East Coast. China supposedly attacking the West Coast and Russia attacking the East Coast. Now, I often wondered, why? Why would Russia and China invade us? Well, there's a couple reasons. One, if people got really desperate and hungry, yeah, we would go to a war. So we already know what's going on in China. They got the pig Ebola, they got the bird flu, not to mention over 700 million people quarantined that can't go feed the ducks and the chickens. They're dying. They're starving to death. What little food. And now they got locusts. I mean, China's just having a really bad time at this. And my heart is going out for the people of China. In any event, if I was the bad guy and I wanted to shake up things, I don't know, I might be old Georgie boy, right? Because I think he gets wood when this stuff happens. So you got these military games going on. Everybody takes off up, 27th, end of October. Some people say the very first case was December 1st. Now, we know that China was trying to compete to be the world dominant supplier and everything else. So they've been in this locked battle. How else could you screw it up? Not to mention, another problem is the 2020 election. Our dearly beloved president is going to run on the economy, the jobs. Now, you let a virus like this go, China, everything. I mean, right down to probably my little blue microphone here, okay? This blue microphone, let me let the cat in. That probably came from China. Come on, monks. So, and that's another thing, right? There it is. Boom. This could take care of so much. Plus, China, I don't think it escaped from their lab. I think, for the book's sake, that this was a biological attack, a biological weapon used in a biological war. Now, they said 5 million people left Wuhan. I don't care what kind of celebration. You tell me where half of the freaking residents vacate. Where'd they go? In a month's time, with what, 300 passengers tops on a plane? You couldn't get 5 million people. I don't even think they could get 1 million people out of Wuhan. Where did they go? We know it's worse than they're telling us. We know now. We're coming into the U.S. and they're saying, yeah, well, because of HIPAA laws, we can't deny or confirm, right? So just what if, guys, this is a biological attack on them? I mean, China's devastated. I've seen tweets where, like, for blocks, they have literally boarded the people into their apartments. Hi, Scott. The people are boarded in. Okay, now they're saying, oh, yeah, we're going to let them out every 3 days to get food, one person. Really? You're going to go back and pry? They're not letting those people out. And let me tell you something. Those cruise ships, I also researched this. The cruise ships use recirculated air. Anybody that can catch this will catch this. They should have all been taken out and literally put in their own little trailers with their own little vents or heating and AC units. Even if they'd have put them in a shed with a $60 Walmart heater, they'd have been better off than quarantining all those people on that boat. And as well, there's also, if you look at the apartment buildings and the high rises, those apartments, and this is even in the United States, they all use recycled air. There's no fresh air coming in. This stuff is going through my parrot, sorry. This stuff is going through the ventilation systems. This stuff is not coming up through water pipes because they don't have elbows. No, if you look up, just go ahead and research about the heating and AC units. Imagine it's 100 degrees out. You're in an apartment building, you hit the AC down to 70. It's a lot easier to cool down 80 degrees than it is 100 degrees, and it's more cost efficient. Now, the only thing I haven't researched for my novel was, does like 3M, can they actually make filters that will grab this tiny, tiny, tiny little virus? This is why I think they boarded the people in these buildings, because they know it's the ventilation system. And if this shit breaks out in America, if you're living in an apartment building, yeah, good luck with that. So in any event, I don't think this came, the whole Canada thing was too fast, too easy. And by the way, didn't that one person get caught with the vial stuffed in a glove? So therefore, it never made out of there. Now, if you got like, I don't know, maybe they were trying, maybe China was trying to sell this particular virus to a U.S. agent, right? Up, something goes down, vial gets loose. Oops. I mean, there's different scenarios that you could put into a book. Wink, wink. Right? But I think the Canadian, it was too fast. Why didn't anybody else look at what was going on in the news? What was that world catastrophic event that Russian sub protected or thought they protected everybody with? Anybody following me on this? I mean, hey, man, I'm writing a book, right? Wink, wink. It could be. It could have been stolen. It could have been on the market for sale. I mean, we read the one article. This was just a different angle, guys. I'm so sorry that I can't with this little eye thing. I still don't know how to get this dang. Okay, got my voice back. So, I mean, leave some comments and, tell me, would this be a good novel if you were going to write it, or what? I mean, let me see. What's this stuff? Overlay, background. And one. Huh. I don't get all this crap. Yeah, I'm having issues. Huh. But I'm real sorry that I couldn't get all this stuff working. I'll have to work on it. And I just am not sure what's going on. It's just, I mean, I'm supposed to having issues. Let's see. Oh, I gotta log into Messenger. I don't think I have Messenger. Yeah. So, and I really wanted to go live and share this guys with you. And I'm like, it's kind of like, look here, don't look here. And let me tell you something. Please, guys, please prepare. I've done videos where just for $22.80, you can buy enough food for one person for 2 meals a day for a whole month, right? Um, get some extra food. If it happened there and this gets loose. See, I live on the East Coast and um I'm used to hurricanes. And right, well, Nance, here's the thing. Something to this magnitude, ask yourself, with the Ebola, they don't eat the pigs, they burn the pigs, right? Why do they use fire? To cleanse the virus. Why are they burning the bodies? To cleanse the virus. What do you think they're going to have to do? Now, just from a zombie movie, they nuked the whole town because, they had that virus. So who's to say that they just didn't say, hey, maybe there really wasn't a fire in that sub. Maybe that's what the news said. But they did say that it averted a world catastrophe. So come on, they're out. Hi, Slim. So they're outside, or right off of our coast in Alaska. I mean, and then, within 6 months, we have this virus. And it's, everyone's lying about it. Why are they lying? Well, they don't want to create panic. They unnecessary panic. They're trying to buy time. And I think that between the CDC and the WHO, they're not telling us the information we need. Please, you could, if they could lock down 700 million people. There's only 300 and what, 27 million here in the United States. So if it can happen there, and they don't do this just for some flu. They didn't even do this for SARS. This thing's already surpassed SARS. So I mean, be prepared to stay home. Um, if you're in an apartment building, one of my recommendations would be to maybe get some good filters, put them in your vents, like cut them to fit the vent. If it's winter, maybe you can get a couple small heaters. We got one. We got one of these little heaters from Walmart. It was like $60. It plugs into the wall. You get a couple of those. But if I was in an apartment or a high rise, I would not be using the central heating and air because that ductwork goes through the whole building. Well, Nance, the thing is, they got 1.4 billion people in China. They can't afford to feed them. They had the pig Ebola, the bird flu, Now all the chickens and stuff starved. Yeah, Drop's fine. He did a couple videos. And I don't know if they're just letting this happen or if they're really trying to get a handle on it and it's just so devastating. I mean, this was created in a lab. Even though most of the countries cannot use biological weapons because of, the humanity stuff. I don't understand why they create them. What, they think everybody in the same labs is going to create the same disease and hey, we're going to make a vaccine? No, these things are designed to kill people. It's not, hey, what if a snake ate a bat and it was SARS season? Because it's SARS, it's MERS, and it has a little copy paste of the HIV that attacks the immune system. So this is a bad mama jama. And it was designed to kill. I'm not buying that nature kicked it up. And there's a few people out there that's like, oh, these viruses are coming from Antarctica. Well, I don't believe that either. Unless there's a lab in Antarctica and we got some people out there working on it. I don't know. But those people in China, they are going to starve to death. Now they got locusts. Freaking locusts, right? So they can't even rely on their wheat and everything else. I mean, China has land, they made a deal with Africa. What was it? Somalia had the locusts. So they're growing food there for their people. So yeah, culling. Sure, why not? Way too many people. They can't beat them. I would imagine if America, without the little kumquats and everything that come from the borders, I think that we could raise enough cows and pigs and food to feed our people, but China doesn't have it that way. And I mean, if you think about it, would you rather see people starve in 6 months to a year, or I don't know, have a really bad flu for a week and die? It's almost humanitarian. I don't know, guys, if we're ever going to figure out the who, the what, the where, the why. But I can tell you that it's happening. And I don't want to fear monger. I don't want to make anyone upset. I'm just saying, please do what you can. I went to the dollar store. I want to show you guys all this. And for about $20, I made up this, and including the little box, I made up this whole medical kit. I have stuff for electrolytes. I got peroxide. I got little cotton round things, anti-itch cream, nasal relief. I got like those food safety little plastic gloves. I got a couple packs of those. I got a thing of, hold on, let me open this up. I wanted to have new stuff. I got an antioxidant of turmeric, nighttime liquid capsules for pain relief, fever reduction. I got a little thermometer, paper tape, waterproof tape, cough syrup, triple antibiotic cream. Got the anti-itch stuff. What else do I have in here? Sinus congestion and pain. Then, like I said, the pediatric electrolytes. I have the colloidal silver, end of time. It's just not in this little bin. This was something that I had packed in this neat little bin. So what do I got? I went to the dollar store, including the bin. That was $1. I got 300 little plastic gloves. They'll do in a pinch. So that's for the ibuprofen 5, nasal relief. I got 2 different nasal things. So let me see. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 items for $17. Yeah, I know. And we are going, and the time we're going to have disruptions like a mofo in our medical supply. I mean, even though they're going to send these people back to work, it's like I owned and operated a roofing company. Now, my workers pretty much knew what they were doing, but of course I had the main mechanic, and he pretty much, yes, Nance, I have a gas mask. I, homie, don't play. Actually, Drop sent me the gas mask, but I do need more filters. I got 4 bags of cat food. 1 bag, I got to get, I'm waiting, I'm hoping I have 11 days because I still got to get some parrot food. So the pets are taken care of. We're good for a few months or more. I mean, Walmart even has like these little flavored packets. It's like 10 in a little box for $1 for like lemonade. You know what I mean? It's, so 10 cents, you throw it into bottled water. I didn't really stock that much up on water simply because we have well water and I pretty much keep a full tank of gas. There's only 13 neighbors here and we had lost power and they hooked up a generator for the water. So we got the well water. Now, I don't know if that would be indefinite, but if they were really smart, they would tell everybody, hey, we're going to turn the water on for 3 hours a day. Do your laundry, or 3 hours every other day. So I just keep a full tank of gas. That's my water supply. But I have I have bottled water. But yeah, we're definitely going to experience some kind of disruption. Medical, car parts. There's going to be probably some layoffs. Now, China did say, assured Trump that come April, that it should, not be so spreading. Apparently, it likes cold weather and not warm weather. Now, maybe they're kind of keeping it quiet to make the economy appear like everything's okay. We're going to, we're going to see some bare spots. Gus, the thing is even if our meds are made here in America, a lot of the stuff that they use to make the meds here comes from China. Just about everything. And this should be a lesson to America. Like, don't put all your eggs in one basket. We should be, we have old factories. They should be right now freaking opening up some factories to do something. They want to keep the economy, this, that, and the other. Well, we're going to have to use our own steel, our own wood, our own this, our own that. We got people. This is why everybody can't go to college. You need people that are building. They need to put wood shop and stuff back into school. But most definitely, we will end up with disruptions in the supply chain. And not just America, any country that is buying. Now, if they're sending people back to work and half of the shop is out, okay, say okay, maybe the foremans come in, but the lady that runs the sewing machine, well, she died of the Wuhan, right? So unless somebody learns to sew really, really fast, it depends how many people are affected. And the people that are dying at home, I saw another video. It was like a block long. There had to be almost 20 body bags laying outside the apartments in a 1 block radius. That's a lot of people. When these people are dying at home, they're not counting them. They're not, it's not like they're doing autopsies and saying, Yep, this one died of this. I mean, could you imagine the sheer panic? Now, I don't know how many people actually lived on that block, but just about every building had a body bag outside. And that's scary. So, anyway, I wanted to give you guys a little, a little glimpse into what hit the headlines. And if I was going to write a sci-fi book, I would go off of that. And wink, wink. So, God bless everybody. Have a great day. Love you all. Please be careful. Yeah, I know, sweet Jenna. Here's the thing. I've ordered a lot of stuff from China, in the past. It takes almost 3 weeks to get here. So, yeah, I don't know. It could be, it could sit for 24 days. They just don't know. Maybe they do know, but they're not telling us. And it's negligent because the time to act is before the 100th person, before the next plane lands. Because I mean, come on, they closed down most of the airports. We had a guy. Now he was 20 miles from me, 20 minutes. He got put in a Duke hospital. He flew from Wuhan into New York because they could only go to like what, 5 or 7 different airports, and they just took people's temperature. And they knew at the time it was asymptomatic. They knew. And I'm sorry. I mean, they should have stopped all flights, shelter in place. And all these people, they're opening stadiums. All these people that they're putting in the stadiums in China are all breathing the same air. If they don't have it, they will have it. Gus, you too. So, anybody, much love. God bless. And please be prepared. Don't forget about your pets. You know what you usually use. I'm just afraid that if they do announce it, like they did in Wuhan, they gave people what, 3 days? And they said, look, on Sunday, we're just gonna go ahead and we're locking you down. So, before any of that happens, you know what you use. Okay, sweet Jenna. But God bless everybody. Please take care. Much love.